Hello and welcome to PSU Intermediate Excel. In the last video we talked about creating range references that refer to a single cell. In this video we're going to learn how to build ranges that refer to multiple cells all at once, which is going to be a really great skill for you to have. Okay, so let's say that I want to add up an entire group of cells without having to type them in one by one. Let's say that I want to add all these guys up, but what I don't want to do is this, equals this guy plus this guy, 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 and enter. I mean, you know, that worked. It didn't produce the wrong answer, but I had to do all that typing, or I guess not typing, but in this case mouse clicking. We'd like a faster, better way to do that, and Excel has one for us. Okay, so if I want to refer to an entire group of cells, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the range of the cell at the northwest corner of the group that I want to refer to, a colon, and then the range of the cell at the southeast corner of the group of cells I want to refer to. Which sounds kind of confusing when you read it as a sentence. If you just do it, it's pretty easy. So I'm going to click here, I'm going to hit equals, and I'm going to type in sum, because the function, I'm going to use the sum function, which is it's the group of cells that I give to the sum function. It's going to add everything in that group up, and that's what I want to do. I want to add all these up. So I'm going to do sum. What do I want to take the sum of? I want to take the sum of all these guys. So I just left clicked and mouse dragged. I'm gonna backspace through my formula so you can watch me do it again. Left click, hold, and drag down the mouse, and close parentheses. And notice what I've got here is I've got C9. C9 is that guy right there. See, C9 colon and E11. E11, right? So I've got the C9, which is the sort of the northwest corner, the E11, which is the southeast corner, and I've got a colon in between the two. And what the colon says is I want you to take these two single cell references, and I want you to build a new reference, a better reference that is a rectangle that goes from this corner to this corner, right? So the semicolon is the operator that it draws a rectangle from one corner to another corner, specifically the top left corner, or the northwest corner, to the southeast or bottom right corner. Okay, and when I hit enter, I get 9, which is exactly what I want. So when I'm in a formula editor, and I'm going to do it again over here, I'm going to do sum C9, just to show you that I could type it by hand, colon E11. What I've told Excel here in this portion is start at C9 and create a rectangle that goes all the way down to E11, right? So I started at C9. This is the create a rectangle operator. Create a rectangle to where? All the way down to E11. Okay, I hit enter. Just to show you that I can also do equals sum, and say I don't want to add all of it, I just want to add this portion here. I can also click, drag, and now I'm referring, I've started, I'm saying I want to add up a bunch of stuff. Well, what stuff do you want to add up? Well, I'm going to start here at C9, which is what that little C9 guy does. And that's C9. And I want you to draw a rectangle. Oh, okay. Where do you want to draw a rectangle to? I want to draw a rectangle all the way down to D11, right? And I hit enter. I get 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly right. Okay, that wasn't too bad, hopefully. And at this point, it's worth noting that all that stuff we went over earlier, where when you copy and paste formulas, the ranges sort of fall around the formula. Well, that still works. And to prove that to you, I'm gonna come here, right? And I want to know what the sum of these guys are, the sum of these guys, and the sum of these guys. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say equals. Type in sum. So I'm actually going to use the arrow keys. The arrow keys are the thing in between all the letters and the big thing of numbers on your keyboard. So when you start typing in a formula for the first time, you can actually use the letter keys to sort of jump around. And notice here, this guy when I use the arrow keys, I'm pressing the up key right now. I'm going to press the right key. There's me pressing the right key, and here's me pressing the down key. So it sort of goes around, and notice, keep your eye over here. I'm gonna press the arrow key a couple times. You know, I'm kind of telling you to put your eyes in two places at once, but focus here. When I press the arrow key, it's automatically writing the correct range for me. Okay, so I want to start right here, and I'm going to type in a colon, and I'm going to use the right arrow key again, and notice now it's smart enough to know that after I've entered that colon, when I move the arrow keys this time, it's going to move the other corner, right? So okay, now I've typed in the sum of G16 to K16. So I say, okay, well, I want to add up a bunch of numbers. What numbers do you want to add up? Well, start at G16, right? And I want you to go all the way to K16. And in this instance, it's a rectangle that only has one row in it, but it still works. Okay, so when I hit enter, I get 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay. Double click, it still works. So so I was talking about the relative thing. I kind of got sidetracked there with all the arrow keys, but I don't know. I like the arrow keys. That's what I often use. So I'll show you about the relative range thing, where it's going to follow the formula around. I've clicked on this. Formula is still there. Control C, and I'm going to click these two cells right there. Click and drag to select them both, and hit Control V. And notice, in this cell, I'm grabbing that rectangle, hit enter. And in this cell, I've gone down. When I copied and pasted, the range, in this case, the multi-cell range also moved with the formula. And here, it also moved down again. I can also, if I'm interested, just to show you that, because you might make this mistake accidentally, if I were to Control C here and copy paste over here, well, it would still follow the formula around with sort of disastrous results, or results that maybe don't make any sense. So what is this 18 here? Well, it's referring to this box. So the box has moved with the formula. Unfortunately, it's pointing at this guy and this guy, which, I mean, maybe they're useful to you, but I think I don't think they're very meaningful here. So I'm going to Control Z to undo that. Okay, at this point, you might be asking yourself, do I have to draw from this corner down to this corner? If I do equals sum, do I have to start here and go there? Is that the only way I can do it? Is that an immutable law of Excel? Well, no. I'm gonna hit backspace there. You could start at this corner and go up to this corner. However, when you do it, when you do that, even though you've started at this corner and gone up to here, notice this guy on the left here is still C9, and this guy on the right is still E11. So even though I started here and went up there, it's going to automatically fix it for me. Also, I can also start here and go over there. But notice, even though I started here in C11 and I dragged over to E9, it automatically rewrote the formula for me to be C9 to E11. So it didn't, it still works, but you're sort of stuck going from the top left corner or the northwest corner to the bottom right corner or the southeast corner. If you're like me and you like finding ways to sort of break the rules in a program, you can do C11 to E9 and be very satisfied in that you've drawn the box that you want. I want to refer to these cells, but I've gone from this corner to this corner, and it didn't fix it for me. So I've triumphed, and I hit enter, and I get the result that I want. But when I double click on it, notice it rewrote it again. So there's no real way to get around that. It's going to keep rewriting it for you. If you really want to, maybe at some point I'll do an advanced video where I'll show you ways to get around that. But it's not really worth getting around. It's just sort of it's a trivial thing. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to look at some examples of these multi-cell ranges, and hopefully that will clarify all of the things that we've talked about here right now. So I will see you next video.